What's been the biggest change, you think, in the telco industry, maybe to date? And then the next question from that is, what do you see is going to change, in the foreseeable future? What do you see?
Yeah, so some of the biggest changes more recently, I guess, are the move to SaaS and the move to cloud native, technology, cloud native platforms. Now, obviously, Oracle weren't sort of super keen on that to start with, but so they were quite a late starter. But then
Larry was clever enough to work it out and say, actually, I got it wrong, which is a hell of a good leader, isn't it?
Indeed, and fair play to him. And they're doing extremely well with some of that now. I think for us in delivering that software, we had to make some significant jumps to be able to do that delivery because around cloud native, because it wasn't just a new technology. It was all about shared platforms, all about understanding what the implications of those shared platforms were, how they scale, how they perform, and also the DevOps around that, i.e. the pipe, as it's known, the DevOps pipeline, i.e. how do you deploy, how do you do automated testing, nightly builds, how do you do the monitoring of things when they're in service, how do you do the deployments without affecting service? All of those things started to come into effect. So I think from a technology point of view, we've gone very much from this is my platform owned by Joe Bloggs, and he knew it from day one, and he had all that experience, to a common platform now that as a team, that no matter what the application is, it's similar underlying technology that everybody sort of should understand and should work with. So it's becoming very much a more, if you like, automated and more cross-industry technology solution in the underlying platform. Obviously, the applications, each do what they, have always done, I guess, from an OSS BSS perspective. If you think of it from a high level, it's still activating services. It's still monitoring the inventory that's used by those services. It's still doing bills, but very much so from a sort of a SaaS basis, i.e. a shared platform basis, across many other apps and probably many other units within a telco. So yeah,
I think that makes sort of the job of recruiting people easier or more difficult, because it used to be you had so many different specialists in so many different areas. Do you think now you're going to have sort of agnostic specialists? I don't know whether that's a bit of an oxymoron there, but people who are just good generally, and you can plug them in anywhere rather than needing them to be very niche.
So the same with any new technology, and this has happened through years and years and years. When a new hot technology comes in, people need to learn that technology, and the industry needs to catch up. Right, so it comes in, I don't know, from universities, from Google, or wherever it's coming in, this technology, and there isn't the skills out there because it's new. So there is, we saw this when everybody was moving from the old style software of COBOL, Fortran, etc. Everybody running away and going towards C and C++ and all the rest of it. And we're in another cycle like that. Okay, so all of the new cloud native technologies, people are desperate for those skills, and there isn't enough of them. So what you will find is that right now it's a niche, or it's a specialism that there isn't much out there. So it's commanding a certain a certain amount of if you like demand where the supply is stretched. However, it will get there, it will catch up. And then you'll see those old specialist skills that people have moved away from, they will become niche. And if people are still on those old platforms and still on that old stuff, they'll be commanding a a much better revenue.
I hear
So,
fabled comments about people who are COBOL Fortran experts, earning a fortune because no
yeah,
one knows how it works.
yes,
And obviously, if
exactly.
you've got something there, but yeah, that's a really good point actually you're making. That, as you said, it comes in waves and in cycles, and this is
Yeah.
just another wave.
It
So
is another wave, but it's also increasing efficiency. Let's not forget that.